Our talk show will begin at 8:30 p.m. Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very good evening, everyone. Yang berbahagia, Encik Aminuddin Abu Bakar, Director of Teacher Training Institute, Tun Hussein on Campus. Yang berusaha, Dr. Muhammad Zahri bin Hussein, Deputy Director of Teacher Training Institute, Tun Hussein on Campus. Miss Nini Johara Binti Johari, Head of Language Department, Teacher Training Institute Tun Hussein on Campus, Mr. Ahmad Safwan bin Sulaiman, Course Coordinator TSLB 1114, English Language Skills in Academic Contexts, Teacher Training Institute Tun Hussein on Campus. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Global Classroom Summit 2026, Connecting Language, Pedagogy, Ethics, and Global Perspective in Education. Before we begin, I would like to inform that please make sure that your microphone is muted. This session will be recorded for educational purposes. Use the chat for networking, sharing opinions, or saying hello. Feel free to introduce yourself in the chat. Submit your questions in the chat anytime during the session, and please stay until the end of the session for the e-certificate. Next, I would like to introduce our speakers for today. Under the theme Ethical Challenges of AI and Digital Learning in Education. First of all, myself, I am Siti Maisarah Binti Asmadi as your moderator and speaker one, Muhammad Hazim Amsyar bin Azri as your speaker two, last but not least, Hamshavarthini anak perempuan Kumar as your speaker three. Welcome to Smart Learning or Shortcuts, Ethical Dilemmas of AI in Education, a talk show on the future of digital learning. So today, we will explore a question that is becoming increasingly important in modern education, which is how artificial intelligence is changing the way students learn. For generations, education has aimed to develop thinking ability, not just the production of correct answer. Traditional learning requires effort, reasoning, trial and error, and also reflection. Students are expected to engage with problems, struggle with uncertainty, and gradually build understanding through experience. However, artificial intelligence (AI) introduced a major shift. Students can now produce academic work quickly and efficiently, often without the same level of cognitive effort that learning has historically required. This, this raises a central question that will guide our discussion today, which is artificial intelligence enhancing learning or just replacing parts of it? So to begin this issue, speaker one, which is me myself, will explain how AI is already reshaping learning process, academic integrity, and also cognitive development. So, to understand the impact of artificial intelligence (AI) in education, we must first clarify what AI in education actually looks like in practice. Today, students use AI to explain difficult concept step by step. They use it to generate essay or assignment draft. They rely on AI to summarize textbook and academic articles to receive instant feedback on writing and to follow personalized learning pathway that design around their individual progress. So these tools are not theoretical or futuristic. So technologies is developed by organization and are already embedded in many digital learning environments used by students every day. So as a result, artificial intelligence is not simply influencing education. It is actively shaping how students approach academic work. Learning as a process involves understanding concept, reasoning through problems, making mistakes, and correcting those mistakes through reflection. So this process develops intellectual capability over time, while learning as product, in contrast, refers to final answer, completed assignment, and finished academic task. AI is extremely efficient at producing learning products. It can generate structured responses, organize argument, and polish writing within seconds. However, education does not evaluate only outcomes. It is designed to evaluate intellectual development. This creates an important tension, which is if AI produces the result, how do we measure learning? Education is aims to develop capability, not just output. So to further clarify this issue, we can think of AI use in education along a spectrum ranging from assistance to substitution. So next, I would like to um, explain about the spectrum of assistance. So at the first level, AI is used as a supportive use. It explains concept, clarifies confusion, and also helps students understand material. But the student is still things. And at second level, AI will provide guided help. It may suggest structure, ideas, but the student is independently develop the content. At the third level, we see replacement risk. AI generates the bulk of the work, and the students primarily edits rather than reasons. And last but not least, level 4, full substitution occurs. AI completes the assignment and the student just submit the output that prepared by the AI. So this is where the ethical concern begins when AI replaces cognitive effort rather than supporting it. Education evaluates intellectual development, not simply task completion. Artificial intelligence also challenges traditional assumption about academic integrity. Historically, academic work has expected to reflect student thinking, represent human authorship, and use tools only as assistant rather than generators of ideas. AI complicates this assumption because it can generate arguments, structure essays, and solve problems independently. This raises new academic question, which is what counts as original work now? Should AI use be disclosed in assignment? Can AI generated ideas be considered student knowledge? So, academic integrity is no longer only about plagiarism, it is increasingly about the authorship of thinking itself. From a cognitive development perspective, deep understanding requires effort. Struggle plays a crucial role in strengthening memory, reasoning ability, and intellectual independence. Problem solving problem solving practice build the capacity to think without external support. Heavy reliance on AI may create several risks, including reduced analytical practice, depends on external cognition, and superficial understanding. The central issue is not the use of AI itself, but the issue is over reliance on AI for thinking. AI also influences student motivation and behavior. Students may begin prioritizing speed of completion, efficiency, and higher grades achieved with less effort. However, the purpose of education is not merely performance optimization. Its goal is the development of understanding, reasoning ability, and intellectual independence. When technology improves performance, education must protect understanding. In summary, artificial intelligence is transforming how students produce academic work. It challenges traditional concept of academic integrity and it reshapes cognitive development and learning process. So, if AI is transforming individual learning, we must also examine its broader societal and ethical implication, including issues of privacy, fairness, and access. So now I would like to invite Muhammad Hazim Amsyar bin Azri as speaker two and to explore these wider impacts.
Thank you, my friend Maisarah, for the precise and beautiful explanation just now. So let me proceed for the next session. Tonight, I will outline the primary ethical principle that should guide the use of generative AI in the educational context. First and foremost, academic integrity. We should protect our academic integrity. Education is not merely about producing answers. It is about cultivating intellectual honesty, discipline, and independent thought. If students submit AI-generated work as their own without acknowledgement, we risk undermining the very purpose of education in our country. Generative AI should function as a support tool, not as a substitutable for thinking uh, in our study. When used ethically, it can assist brainstorming, critical thinking, complex concept, or provide a formative feedback for our improvement. However, it must not replace the learner's cognitive effort. Therefore, institutions must establish clear guidelines, such as when must AI be declared during the submission of the work, or how should misuse be addressed. Without clarity, confusion may become a breeding ground for this misconduct. Let's move for the second point, which is the fair access. If generative AI becomes integrated into learning but remains accessible only to a certain group, we risk widening the digital divide. Students from disadvantaged backgrounds may lack access to premier AI tools, stable internet connection, or digital literacy training. This may happen to those who live in the rural area in Malaysia, such as in the estates, or those who live in the deep forest in Sarawak or Sabah. Educational institutions must ensure that AI integration doesn't create a new hierarchy of privilege. Equal access, institutional listening, and AI literacy programs are essential to prevent this inequality. Equity also extends beyond access. AI systems must be examined for cultural, linguistic, and socio-economic bias. An algorithm training predominantly on certain population may marginalize others. If education is meant to empower all learners, AI must reflect this commitment. Let's move to the third point without further ado, the data privacy. Educational environments handle highly sensitive information such as student records, performance data, and personal reflection, even psychological assessments. When AI platforms are used, this data may be stored, processed, or analyzed externally, so that institution must ensure clear consent mechanism and strong cybersecurity safeguards so that the student can keep their data safe and secure. Students should never unknowingly surrender their personal data for commercial exploitation. Ethical AI respect the dignity and autonomy of all learners. Let's move to the next point, which the important one, accountability. No matter how advanced AI systems become, responsibility must remain human. If an AI grading system makes an error, the educator remains accountable. If biased outputs influence decisions, institutions must take all of the responsibility. AI should assist, not replace our professional judgment as a teacher. So then let's move to the our next point, which is the human-centered pedagogy. My bad. I mean the reliability. Generative AI system can produce convincing but inaccurate information. They may fabricate the reference, misinterpret context, or presented outdated data with confidence, such as they take the old reference from the 20s, the 2010, like that. So the data is inaccurate. So we cannot use the data. If students treat AI as an unquestionably authority, critical thinking declines. Therefore, we must add AI literacy into our curricula. Students should learn not only how to use AI, but how to question it, verify its claims, and cross-check the information so that all of the information get by the student is correct and can be used in the assignments. The goal is not blind dependence, it is informed engagement. Next is human-centered pedagogy. Perhaps the most important principle in this list, education is fundamentally relational. It involves mentorship, empathy, encouragement, and moral guidance. No algorithm can replicate the nuanced understanding of a teacher who recognizes a student's emotional struggle or intellectual potential. AI may automate the process, but it cannot replace the human heart and emotion. So yeah, that is the lack and flaws of the AI. AI can follow it. Then let's move to the last point. Last but not least is bias. AI systems are trained on a vast database drawn from our society. If those datasets contain stereotypes or imbalance, AI outputs may reflect and amplify them. This is particularly concerning in diverse educational environments. Biased outputs can affect representation, assessment fairness, and student confidence. Thus, institutions should put such as evaluate AI tools before adoption or continuously monitor them for discriminatory patterns. Fairness is not automatic, it must be actively pursued. So that to sum it up, in conclusion, generative AI is neither inherently good or inherently bad. It is a tool. Its ethical impact depends on who use it, on how to govern it, or how to generate it. It depends on us. If we prioritize all of the ethical risks that I just mentioned just now, then generative AI can enhance education without compromising its core values. But if we neglect these principles, we might risk the education system in our country because it may harm the education system in our country. The future of education is not about choosing between humans and machines. It is about ensuring the machines remain aligned with our human values, our human hearts. Let us lead this transformation not without fear, but with wisdom, ethical clarity, and professional responsibility. That's all from me. Thank you. So right now, I'm going to pass on the mic to our moderator, Maisarah. Thank you.
Thank you, Hazim, for laying out those critical ethical risks. It is sobering reminder that while AI is powerful, it's not without its shadow. But the question remains: if these risks are real and AI is here to stay, how do we actually move forward without losing our way? To help us navigate that, we have our next speaker. They believe that education shouldn't resist this change but evolve with it. So please welcome Hamshavarthini, who is here to share a balanced approach to AI, focusing on how we can turn this technology into a responsible partner for our future. Hamsha, the floor is yours. How do we start building that bridge between human intelligence and AI?
Thanks, Maisarah, and thank you, Hazim. Good evening, everyone. There's a lot of noise out there talking about AI. Some people are terrified, some people are obsessed, but let's clear the air. AI is not the enemy, it's not a temporary trend either. It is a permanent part of our future. Okay, now think back. We used to worry that calculator will destroy our ability to do maths or that the internet will make libraries obsolete. Instead, they just became tools that push us further. AI is just the next chapter in the story. So the goal isn't to stop the clock, it's to guide the hand. So remember, education must prepare students for the future, not the past. Now, let's shift to my main point, which is fear versus responsibility. Many fear AI will replace learning, but the real danger isn't the technology itself. It's the misuse of it. If we only ask, how do we stop students from using AI? Wait, we have already lost. Instead, we should be asking, how do we teach them to use it ethically? Look, there's difference between both statements. When AI used correctly, AI is like 24/7 personal tutor. It can personalize learning for every student's pace. Let's say, if you are a biological, if you don't understand a biology chapter, AI can rewrite it as a story about superheroes to match their interests and help them finally to get it. Other than that, AI also support those who are struggling. For an example, instead of a student giving up on a hard mathematical problem at 9 p.m., an AI tutor can be helpful and guide them to the answer that to answer the question without giving it away. See, it's really helpful, right? And lastly, AI also help to save teachers time on admin so they can actually teach. For an instance, AI can handle the boring paperwork and grading in seconds, giving teacher more time to actually talk to and inspire their students. Now, let's move on to the new requirement, which is AI literacy. If you guys don't know what AI literacy is, let me brief about it. We are at a point where AI literacy is the basic life skill, just like reading or writing. It's not about just about clicking a button. Student needs to understand three main points, which is when to use it, and more importantly, when not to. And the second one is how to spot mistakes. As usual, you guys know, because AI can confidently be wrong most of the time. And lastly, students have to know how to think beyond the prompt. Remember, we don't want robots. We want humans who know how to direct the robots. And now let's continue to the last part, which is the journey. So, how do we move forward? Okay, I have prepared three-step journey, which is acceptance, adjustment, and responsibility. Ensure we are using it to better human. Okay, I'll come again. There's acceptance, adjustment, and responsibility. I will start with acceptance. We have to stop fighting the existence of the tool. After that, we have to change our methods to fit a world where this tool actually exists. And lastly, responsibility. This is very important in this journey where we do ensure we are using it to better humanity, not a bypass effort. Last but not least, the future of education isn't a battle of human versus AI. It's human plus AI working together to reach heights that we couldn't reach alone. So that's all.
Thank you, Hamsha, for the amazing insight. So now, how do we actually put this into practice? I would like to ask our second speaker, Hazim. What do you think?
Uh, from my uh, from my perspective and a statistic that I found, to make AI work for us without losing what makes education special, I've broken it down into a balanced approach. Let's look at these four pillars that will define our future. The first one, integrity. Uh, Thinking of learning like going to the gym, if a robot lifts the weight for you, you don't get stronger, right? We have to make sure students still do the hard work that actually builds their brain. AI should be the wind at your back, not a ride that takes you to the finish line while you sit down and relax, drinking coffee and on. The second one is fairness. We can't let secret computer math decide a student's grade or their future. We must demand transparency. We need to know how AI makes its decision so we can be sure no one is being left behind by a hidden line of a code. Let's proceed to the third speaker, Hamsha.
Okay, I would like to add more. Literacy, a skill, not a crush. Using AI should be a skill, not a shortcut. If you use a if you use it as a cru- if you use it as a crutch, you become weaker. But if you learn to use it as a tool, you become a powerful creator. It's the difference between asking AI to do my work and asking AI to make my work better. There's a difference between both statements. Now let's move forward for the fourth. Finally, the future. This isn't about talking about AI taking over. It's about collaboration. The most successful people won't be the ones who avoid AI. They will be the ones who know how to partner with it to do things that neither human nor machine could do alone. So that's all from me.
Thank you, Hazim and Hamshar. So, I will do a short summary. So, our lecture explores how artificial intelligence is transforming education by changing how students learn, think, and produce knowledge. AI tools many influenced by developments from organization and that can support learning by providing explanations, feedback, and personalized guidance. However, global bodies like UNESCO emphasize that ethical responsibility must guide how these technology are used. A key issue is the difference between AI assisting learning and AI replacing human thinking. While AI can enhance efficiency and access to knowledge, over-reliance may affect academic integrity, intellectual development, and the true purpose of education. Ultimately, the discussion highlights one central principle, which is education must protect human thinking, not just produce smart technology. I think we have almost reached the end of our talk show. Thank you to our speaker for that insightful discussion. So we will now move into the question and answer session. This is an opportunity to reflect more deeply on the ideas we have explored and to consider how artificial intelligence is reshaping learning in real educational context. Um, so if you guys have any question, you can open the mic and ask the question, or maybe you can write in the chat.
Okay, so I do have a question. Um, can using AI in assignments be considered cheating?
So in your presentation, you mentioned about the risk of over reliance on AI, right? So are you saying that in the future, the schools might need to control the AI use to protect learning? Thank you.
Can you leave the question in the chat? Thank you.
So my question is, can AI really improve learning outcomes?
All right, thank you for the questions. I would like to give us 2 minutes to give a proper and best answer. Thank you.
Okay, I would like to proceed my first question. All right. Using AI in assignment can be considered cheating, but it depends on how students use it. From my point of view, AI is not automatically wrong. If students use AI to understand a topic, check grammar, or get ideas, it can actually help them learn better. In this case, AI works like a tool or assistant. However, it becomes cheating when students copy and paste the answer without understanding the full content and submit it as their own work. That means they are not thinking or learning by themselves, right? So, education is not just about finishing assignments, but about developing knowledge and critical thinking skills. So, AI should support learning, not replace students' effort. The main issue is not the AI, but how responsibly students use it. So that's all.
Sorry, my bad. Can I ask what is the second question just now? It is related to school, right? From UVEsh, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
What is your question back? Yeah.
Uh, in your presentation, you mentioned about the risk of over reliance on AI, right? So I'm just
Yeah.
asking, are you saying that in the future, the schools might need to control the use of AI to protect the learning?
Oh, so you mean in the future the school might use the full usage of AI, right? That.
Yes. Do they
Oh,
really need to control the use or not?
do the school will control the use of AI in the future?
Yes.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, thank you.
So I would like to answer the last question, which is, can AI really improve learning outcomes? AI can improve learning outcomes when it supports understanding rather than replaces thinking. It helps through personalized learning, instant feedback, and easy access to explanation that allows students to learn at their own pace and clarify difficult concepts quickly. However, if students rely too much on AI to complete tasks without reasoning, learning can become superficial. So this is why ethical guidance from organizations stresses that AI should enhance human learning capacity. AI is beneficial when it strengthens independent reasoning because education must protect human thinking and not just produce smart technology.
For the question that been asked just now about the over reliance of AI in the future, does the school can control the usage of AI? The answer is yes, but not completely because they can set the clear rules, redesign the assessment, and teach responsible regarding the AI. However, since AI is totally used by everyone in the school in the future, maybe, then the goal is not to totally control it, but to guide and ethical use the AI in a good way. So yeah, the teacher play an important role in controlling the AI in school so that the student can't misuse it for bad ethics and something uh bad behavior like that. That is my answer. Is it answer your question, Sarina? All right.
Yeah, yeah.
I got that. Thank you. Okay.
So, any other question that you guys want to ask? If not, I would like to thank you to you guys for joining our talk show, for spending your time to hear to spend your time with us, and thank you so much for supporting us. That's all. Bye bye. Good night.
Thank you guys. Bye.